Thank you very much. Thank you very much for coming out on what's been a miserable day and for taking the time and the trouble and the expense to come and see the film. Casino Royale was, of course, Daniel Craig's first outing as James Bond 007. So at the time when I had the script for Casino Royale, he hadn't been cast. So I was reading the script and not being able to really imagine or picture who he would be and how he would play it. And it was only when Chris Cornell and I went to Prague to see him shooting the casino scenes that I saw what Daniel was doing. And that very much informed the music in this film. It needed to reflect how he was. Muscular, aggressive, romantic, tender, open in a way that we'd never really seen James Bond before. And I think the music that we wrote for him, he runs through a wall in this film. And when Chris and I wrote You Know My Name, I wanted that song to feel like it was a warning to James Bond's enemies. He was unschooled, he wasn't the James Bond that we know and love quite yet. We saved the James Bond theme till the end of the movie, when he utters those immortal words, the name's one, James Bond. And you're ready for it by that point. But at each point in the film, when James Bond does something which we know is iconic, when he wins the Aston Martin DB5 in a game of cards, we drop a tiny little bit of the hint in there. When he puts on his tuxedo for the first time in a hotel room, there's a tiny bit more. He earns this theme as the film goes on, and you're very ready for it at the time when it comes at the end. The other really interesting thing is the question of Vesper. First of all, I have to ask, has anyone not seen this film? There are a couple of hands up. I will not spoil it. If there's one amongst the 5,000 here, I will not spoil it. But there is a moment where Daniel Craig's James Bond and Eva Green's Vesper fall in love for the first time, I think in a very unlikely situation. And I originally had played that in a slightly darker tone, but one of our brilliant producers, Barbara Broccoli, made it known to me that that was the moment when they fell in love, and so the music needed to reflect that. And this is where great producers are worth their weight in gold. We're very lucky tonight to be joined by her producing partner, Mr. Michael G. Wilson, who is in the house with us. I've often wondered what the G stood for, and I'm assuming it's God. He makes all things possible, and between him and Barbara, they do create a family. You feel you're a part of something special, and I think a lot of her crew, I would especially, would do anything for them. So it's always a pleasure to be asked to come and attend these fantastic evenings. One of the other things that Barbara asked me to do is to mention the charity Into Film. On the screen in the interval, there will be some information on the screen. It's a charity which helps young people get into filmmaking who otherwise might never get a chance. If you do get a moment to look it up and hopefully help, it would be greatly appreciated. We have the most extraordinary orchestra, the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra, who are standing behind me. The amazing thing about these concerts is that after 2 or 3 minutes, you forget that you are experiencing a live orchestra and you watch the film, you are drawn into the film, and such is the excellence of their performance. You kind of forget, but I urge you not to forget. I apologise to the brass section for the Miami sequence at the airport. That's 15 minutes long, it's non-stop. It's hard work. They have my eternal gratitude. They all have my eternal gratitude. And so, without further ado, I would like you to give a big hand to our conductor for the evening, to watch Royale with the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra, Mr. Antini Gabriele. Thank you very much and have a great evening.